Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to Cooped Up Live, the show where I just talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. While we're waiting on folks to join, uh, reminding you that coopedUp.com is my website. You can visit that anytime. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all the social places. Would love a follow wherever you are, particularly if you're on the Instagrams. And wherever you watch or listen to this is on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, as well as rebroadcast in audio format on all of the major podcasting platforms. Click the bell so that you, or a subscribe button or whatever it's called, so that you don't miss a second of the fun. Hey, Mama. Good to see you. I love your little icon there. And I'm Judy. Yes, we do that at the house all the time with the kids. They love that skip. So, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Mine was very, what is the word for it? Stressful was not the word for it, although there is a lot of stress on our family at the moment. I actually had a wonderful day with Mason on Saturday. So backing up a little bit, the next 3 weeks are like the go time for all of Mason's high school applications. So we've got 3 private schools and 2 magnets that we're applying to. And the 2 magnets are public schools, but you still have to audition or do a presentation, an application, all that kind of stuff. It's craziness. I think getting into college is actually going to be easier than this. But those deadlines, we had the first deadline for the application for one of them was this past Friday. Got that out of the way. We've got essays and questions due this Friday and the following Friday. Thursday, we have Mason has to present a PowerPoint presentation about himself to a selection committee for the Townview Business Magnet, which is one of the top public schools in the country. And then what else? And then he has an audition for Booker T. Washington, which is the performing arts school, later this month. And Friday, we have a shadow day at one of the private schools. Actually, I think for the next 3 weeks, we have a shadow day. And then a week from tomorrow, he's retaking that IC test, ISEE. It's sort of like SAT, but for private high schools. So he's taking it well. At first, I thought he was kind of freaked out about it, but we had a good conversation, and he's doing better. But I'm going to tell you, we went on Saturday, Booker T. Washington. It's got a very long name. It's like Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts or something like that. Oh, I don't know why my watch was thinking I was doing something. But we went to a workshop for like what the audition process is like. I mean, we know the general things. He has to memorize a 1-minute monologue. He has to then do a 1-minute cold read that they give him like 9 minutes to read it. And then he has to do a cold read and act it out. There's a couple of body movement ones, one where he has to wear a mask and be the person wearing the mask or being the character that is the mask. And another he's given an example that they gave us was pretend you're walking across ice while carrying a tray of sandwiches, that sort of thing. And then there's a playwriting section. And then there was one other thing. Anyway, so we went to this workshop. Booker T is very good about making sure there's plenty of opportunity to know. They had 5 of these across the city for the theater conservatory. They had one for the visual arts a couple of weeks ago. They'll have one for the music one. They're at the public libraries. They do a very good job of making sure that everyone who is able to come wants to understand it. There's an open house on Thursday. There's another workshop thing next Tuesday evening, all that kind of stuff. But this one, oh my God, y'all, intense. I mean, I'm sitting there, and I was sitting in the back because they made the kids sit in the front, and the parents, if they stayed, had to sit at the far back. And it was bonkers, y'all, just the stuff that they're going through. I can't imagine being 13 and going through all of this. The funny thing is, so Booker T. Washington is a Dallas Independent School District magnet school, meaning that it exclusively serves families that live in the Dallas Independent School District. But being that it is one of the top arts magnet schools in the country, it is basically like the Juilliard of high school. It's like Fame. It is like the Fame High School, if you're old enough to remember that TV show. But and this woman who was leading this workshop, Ms. Davignon, was she's legendary in the school, very strict and just forthright. I'm so happy that we had her though, because like she is the harshest critic that in the school we've heard. Already, how did I? Viewers cannot see you. I dropped off for some reason. There we go. I think I'm back. Hopefully, I'm back. That was weird. But anyway, was that Miss Davion that did that to me? Um, so there were at the one that we went to one in kind of a nicer part of town. And it was at the public library. It's on Webb Chapel, just north of Love Field. So it's not a particularly nice part of town, but it's next to a lot of nice parts of town. And there was a lot of kids there. Of the maybe 25 kids that were in attendance at the one that we went to, I would say 20 of them went to private schools. That's us too. But then there were a number of them also who don't live in the DISD, Dallas School District area, right? And so one of them raised their hand and was like, hey, so if we, was I only gone visually though? Could you still hear me, or am I just talking now and you have no idea what I'm talking about? Let me know and I can rewind. But so one of the kids says, ma'am, if we're coming from out of district, what do we have to do to make sure we qualify? And the lady said, I kid you not, she said, there is no chance that you're going to get into our school if you do not live in the Dallas School District. I was like, okay. And I mean, and you could hear the disappointment. The lady, it is so crazy though. The lady sitting next to me actually told me that they bought a house in the Dallas School District, so just so their daughter could audition for this program. Not even that she's going to go there yet or anything like that. Now, I will tell you at ours, and I bet ours was disproportionately like kids who are very big theatrical people, because they've told us that less than 50% of the kids who go to this school have a lot of arts background already. They're not professional actors. They've never even been in a play, anything like that. The one that we were at, though, it was a lot of stage moms and their stage babies. What's Gypsy Rose Lee? A bunch of Gypsy Mama Rose and Gypsy Rose Lee. It was crazy. And the way they acted, poor Mason, when he got out of there, and I think he was like freaked out. He's like, these kids are really, really good. But I told him, I was like, those are the best kids. And they take, there's 1,000 kids at this high school. So about 250 per grade. Between all the different conservatories, it's about 80 to 100 per conservatory. So Jody is saying he cannot hear me. Well, I wish you could. But anyway, this school stuff, how do people, this is why, I mean, I can, at this moment in my life, I can understand why people move to the suburbs. I can understand why they take the big gulp. And maybe some people love the suburbs. I'm not some people. But they move out to the suburbs because you don't have a choice but of where your kids go to school. Because I don't even think, do the big suburbs have a lot of magnet programs? I cannot think of a single person I know whose kids go to like Plano or Richardson or Garland, or maybe not Garland. If you live in Garland, you know what that joke is. South Lake, those types of places where their kids go to magnet programs, because the schools are so exemplary already, but there's so much pressure around it as well. Aaron, I'm with you. I'm not moving out to White Straightville. 100%. That is my biggest thing. Suzanne is saying they do have a magnet program in Richardson. I've never heard anything about it because I've heard that the regular schools are so good and you just go to the one that you're zoned for, right? But here's the thing though, is the close-in suburbs of Dallas, for example, I think they're a little bit more sane. But the further out you get from downtown Dallas, and I'm sure that they think the equal opposite thing, I think the weirder it is. And so, like, for example, in Allen ISD, which is probably 30 miles north of downtown Dallas. I have no idea distances on this. But Allen ISD, there is a Super Bowl player. Hang on, I just thought of another topic. I need to write it down. Um, there is a Super Bowl, I'm not a Super Bowl, NFL player whose son is like the number one quarterback in the student quarterback in the state of Texas, or so. Like he's already like being recruited for colleges and all that stuff. Well, he this week unenrolled, is that the right word? Pulled his kids out of Allen schools because they're black, by the way. That is an important part of the story. They had someone spray paint across their garage, "You weren't wanted here anyway," and then the N-word, something like that. Yes. And Aaron, did you go to Allen also? So they got some controversies, but yeah. Now she's saying, "Am I going away? Do I keep going up and down?" Everyone is saying I went away. Oh, Carrie's refreshing now. Who knows? But this is going to be terrible on the audio rebroadcast. I apologize to those of you who are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or something right now. But and then like out in Keller's the town where they are pulling any book that has a gay character in it or talks about black people being treated badly, like craziness. And then we have some neighbors who lived in Southlake, sent their kids to Southlake schools, and the minute their kids were eligible to graduate high school, they moved back into the city. And I don't know if they commuted the last few months or if they just held out and then moved here. But they were like in Southlake, they were like the racism was so bad. They were like, they're Hispanic. They're like, we got pulled over constantly, all that kind of stuff. It was shocking to move from diverse Euless to white Allen, Aaron is saying. Did y'all move for the schools? Like, I don't know anything about Euless. Other than it's next to Hewlett. Hearst. It's next to Hearst and Bedford. That's it. Yeah, that's all I know about Euless. And generally, I think it's between Dallas and Fort Worth, and on the north side, like by the airport, maybe north of Fort Worth. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but but the school stuff. So back to my original point, I did take my ADHD medicine today. I can find my way back. Is that aside from moving to the suburbs, you don't have a choice in the Dallas school district unless you live in a really good specific area where you can go to your neighborhood school. You have to go to either a magnet program or you have to go to a private school. And so we've got our option. We know which one we like best at the moment, based on lifestyle. It's funny enough, the one that we are leaning the most towards is not even the highest ranked or best one. It is just the best for our family, based on size, based on location, based on the driving, y'all. The driving. That's the part that's going to kill me, and all of that. And so, and it is a private option, but if he gets into Booker T, that's going to be a close second. The problem is that Booker T does not have any athletics at all, and Mason thinks that he wants to run track. Thinks. So we will see. I don't know if that's a reason to base a whole school decision on, but we will see. Enough about my kiddos. I switched back to Weight Watchers this weekend. I will tell you I've been on Optavia, as I've told y'all, which is if we're being honest, it is a highly effective garbage diet. You eat paper pretending to be food every 2 to 3 hours. You're on a calorie deficit. I think that my average calorie count for the day was something like 800 to 900 calories a day. No wonder I was losing weight. Ended up losing about 30 pounds. I did a before and after photo. Y'all, I had no idea. I just must have blocked it. I don't remember being it was all right here. Well, and right here. But I saw that. I did the comparison of it, and it's like, Carrie, back to this kid's school. Lord, are you going to be a school drop-off and pick-up mom? Well, that's what I am. And very spoiled right now with the 45-second commute each way. But like, if we end up going to Green Hill or Parrish, both of those across the street from each other, way out in the northwestern, like almost Addison part, or Grand Prairie. No, not Grand Prairie. Farmers Branch sort of area. That is 45 minutes each way on average. So that is 3 hours of my day in the car. Thank God Claire is going to have her driver's license freshman year of high school because she is a year behind her counterparts. I was talking about that with her last night, and she was like, I don't think I want to drive. I was like, I don't think you have a choice. I'd buy you a car. Green Hill is in Addison, technically, but you have to drive through. So Midway Road, Midway to get to it is Farmers Branch. I know that because I have a client that has a project there at Midway and 635, and it is a Farmers Branch address. So you go up and then you go. Yeah, it's just the whole thing is crazy. So find another parent who lives near you to rideshare. Aaron is saying, yeah, that's what we're saying. And then the other private school is Lake Hill, and that's the one that's in East Dallas, which in reality is, as the crow flies, closer, but it is all surface streets to get there. Basically, you're like on the highway for like 5 exits, and then it's just wandering through East Dallas. So I wish our school went through high school, and I wish we would go to Catholic school, but we can't. I'm not going to go to Catholic school. You know, my history with Catholics, I had a Catholic priest rub his boner on my thigh, and then he just only got transferred out, and he ended up on that credibly accused list. So not going to have that. And then I actually did PR for the Catholic Bishops Conference when they were here in Dallas, dealing with the sexual allegations. And behind the scenes, the stuff, y'all, was disgusting. Like they didn't care. They were not taking it seriously at all. So I was like, nope, wash my hands of all of that. We are not affiliating with that. So Carrie's like, remember in the 80s when you lived in a small town and you rode a bus to school? I know we did. When we lived in Hallettsville, Texas, we lived outside of Hallettsville, maybe about 5 miles outside of town. And we would have to walk in the dark down our road to the end of the road, which is where the bus picked up. So probably half a mile. I was in the 7th grade. Monica was in the 5th grade. We also had a step sibling who was the same grade as me. And then we had one that was, I think, a year behind Monica. So 4 of these little kids walking down a country road, middle of, like at 6:30 in the morning, to get to school by 8. Yeah, it was crazy. So did I do it in holy water? I did not. Thank you. But what else? Oh, back to my thing, Weight Watchers. So Octavia did what it needed to do. It is not a sustainable diet. It is not anything I want to continue. The bars and smoothies were fine. I still have some of those. I had some this morning, and I just recorded it on my Weight Watchers. They actually, funny enough, the Weight Watchers app has the Octavia food in it so that you can count the points. I guess a lot of people switch between the two. But so far, so good. I was so far under my point count yesterday that I got chastised by the app that I needed to eat a few more to stay in my healthy, because they don't want you to get below it, because then you end up fucking up your metabolism. So you know what I did? I made myself a vodka cranberry. That's what I did yesterday. Because vodka's got like 5 points. I just needed like 5 points. And I'm like, well, I don't want to eat anything. I'm full. So I had a vodka. And that's the one thing I actually do love about Weight Watchers. You can eat or drink anything you want as long as you keep track of it and you make choices during the day that you're like, well, I had a glass of wine. That's 4 points. So I just need to make sure I eat a bunch of 0 point stuff with it so that it all balances out. But yeah. And then last night, a bunch of people had recommended this. It's like a powder. It's called Calm. It's a magnesium powder. It's like a supplement. It's called Calm, CALM. And supposedly it helps you relax. It gets rid of anxiety. I was kind of having a little bit of anxiety, and I'm not prone to that at all. I just think all the school stuff has got me like very overwhelmed feeling. And so, which is why I'm very happy I can talk to y'all, because this is external processing to the max here. But I took it, and one of the things is like it helps you sleep really well at night. So I took 2 teaspoons of it. You put it in water, it fizzes, you drink it. like an Alka-Seltzer kind of thing. And I will and you take it 30 minutes before you go to bed, and it just relaxes your brain, it relaxes your body. I have never slept so deeply in my life. I could just even tell when I was in bed. I felt like I was sinking into the bed. Like I felt like I was so relaxed, but not like drugged. I did not feel like I could not operate heavy equipment. I did not feel well. The vodka might have done that, but because I actually didn't just have one, but that's neither here nor there. But but it was so. I mean, I'm like, oh my god! And so Todd had, and I had actually recommended it to Todd. And he's been trying it for the last couple of nights, and he's like, yeah, it's good. It didn't work super well on me, but so this morning I woke up and I did not feel groggy at all. It's not like taking. I can't take melatonin because melatonin, for some reason, to me, it freaks me out. In my like, I'll wake up at 3 a.m, and then I'm like freaked out that I'm not going to wake up because I'm still so sleepy from the melatonin. And this did not make me feel that way. Woke up this morning feeling refreshed, felt still very chill. Supposedly it helps with anxiety, as I said. I'm going to try it again tonight. I'll report back. Hopefully it wasn't a fluke. I do not remember dreaming at all last night. And I do usually remember my dreams. And my dreams, if I have like stress dreams, they are one of a few stress dreams. I have a stress dream that the elevator doesn't go to the right floor and it misses the floor over and over and over again. I have a stress dream that I'm in a hotel and I don't remember my room number, which why in real life, real waking life, I always take, I have probably 100 pictures of hotel room numbers in my cell phone because I just take a picture so I know where it is. Or I can't find my car in a parking lot. That's another one of my stress dreams, is that I don't know where I parked. And so I also, anytime I park in a garage. Eric, I will actually, you know what? I'm going to throw it in the comments real quick. Let me see if I can find the Calm stuff that I ordered. And the reviews are fantastic for it. It was recommended by numerous people. A lot of people on the Activia diet do it because I think it helps like with your electrolytes too. Which, if you're on blood pressure medicine, you're supposed to try to keep your electrolytes up too. So I just threw it in the comments. What else? I don't have my card, so I'm reading from here. Oh, have y'all heard all of this stuff about Nepo babies? Basically, nepotism. Hang on, let's go back to the comments real quick. Eric saying, I have dreams of being in an airport or hotel and I can't find my way out. Mine is usually like a casino hotel that I can't find my way out, or I'm like going in circles. The one I don't like is the elevator one because it's always the elevator is going too fast and it misses the floor. And so you have to figure out the combination. Like if you need to go to floor 20, you have to actually push 24 and to get to 20, but then you have to, it's like trial and error. That one. The other thing that sometimes keeps me awake at night, I'm going to go back to the wake at night, is sometimes I will get a song in my head and I cannot stop hearing that song in my head. And usually it's a song that I only know like 4 lyrics to. So it's not like a song I even like. It's more like of course I can't think of a song right now, but it's like WAP or something like that, where I know literally like macaroni in a pot. It's so wet. It's so wet. Like literally that's the only words I know to that song. Over and over and over again on a loop. I don't have stress dreams about the things that need to happen. For some reason, I don't know why. I've never been that person where I'm like, I got to do this, 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 and this, and this. Todd is that person. Todd also is like when we are going on walks together, which is why I prefer to walk without him. We're going on walks together. I don't put in headphones. I just walk and I look around and I'm observing, kind of meditative, but I'm not going through my brain of all the things that I need to do. Todd literally is constantly has a to-do list going in. And I actually think he's more normal than I am. I think I'm the weirdo who's able to just like zone out or just say, you know what? I'm not thinking about that right now. That's not a worry for this moment. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. I subscribe to that theory. I've read 2 of his books, really good. But the Oprah told me to. Hey, Oprah. But the so when Todd walks, he's like, "Oh, I got to call the person about the roof, and I got to do this, and we need to do this, and oh, groceries. Be sure we put cucumbers on the grocery list, and blah blah blah." Yes, Aaron is that kind of person. Brain never shuts off. Like Todd, literally. But I will write it down, and I am also a person who, and I think this is one of my ADHD coping skills that I've had before I was officially diagnosed. Is I try not to maintain any information in my brain. That sounds like I'm an idiot, but I mean, I do not rely on my brain as the primary source of remembering things. I have to-do lists. Now I may have too many to-do lists. I have a ton of these. This kind of card right here is the best thing ever. It gives you you can have little check boxes, all that kind of stuff. And see, I do it big, but then I have others that I do smaller. So I have a bunch of them floating around. But I try not to maintain any of that information in my brain. So I just write it down, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like I'm not worried about remembering that I'm going to forget it, that kind of thing. So I'm really good about turning my brain off. And again, that doesn't sound great. That is, I do think that that is a noble thing, and that is a good thing to have. But it sounds like I'm an idiot. Carrie is saying I'm incapable of maintaining things in my brain now. If you don't live in my phone, calendar, notes, screen, or on a Post-it, you are nothing to me. I know. That's why I have to make notes. And I also have a million I have Post-its like all over the place. And I actually have a board across from me right now that says to do, doing, and done on it. And I have Post-it notes. So I'll write down a Post-it note saying this, and I'll put it on the to-do one. And then when I'm doing it, I'll move it to the doing one. So like I kind of plan the things I'm going to do. And then when it's done, it's like the ultimate check mark. And I'm sure all of y'all do this too. I just need the what is it? The rush of it all. Sometimes I will write things. So if I don't get to my to-do list until like 10 in the morning and I've already done like 3 things, I'll write those 3 things down on my to-do list just so I can check them off. And also so that if I see my to-do list, I'm like, I've done 3 things already today. So Carrie's saying, oh my God, speaking of your board, I was on Amazon today looking for a good board for my office. Do you have one? I have a glass board that is magnetic also. So it's really pretty. And I just use a ruler to draw straight lines on it and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you're looking for a glass board, but I like it. I'll share it with you. So, and Carrie's also a list person. If you can cross things off to feel accomplished. Yes. So I'm going to get to the Nepo Babies thing tomorrow. I don't have enough time to talk about that. The only last thing I have on my list to talk about today is I don't know how many of y'all are big RuPaul's Drag Race fans. I know some of you are. The new season started on Friday. It was a 2-hour episode. It was actually only like an hour and a half, but because I think it's an hour and a half of RuPaul's Drag Race and then 30 minutes of Untucked, which I've stopped watching Untucked because I don't like that kind of Real Housewives drama. But it was a double premiere. They did their first elimination. It was the person I wanted to go away because this person was terribly mean to the other people. Although she claims that that's just how she has banter with people. I'm like, nope, not doing it. But the shocking thing was the number. I think this is the first time ever RuPaul's Drag Race has allowed for drag queens who are not actually drag performers to be on the show. By that I mean numerous, like 4 of them on the show are TikTok famous. Of the TikTok famous kids, I would say, and they're all kids, I would say that 3 of the 4 probably have never actually performed in a drag show before. They are literally just TikTok famous. But I'll send you a link, Carrie, to the one that I like. That may be the one actually. But I was shocked by that. And the other thing that I find interesting, though, is a lot of these kids will say, I'm on TikTok and blah, blah, blah. But I actually knew 2 of them, Sugar and Spice. I've seen them on Instagram way before they were ever on TikTok. So I know that they're not just TikTok famous. They were on Instagram beforehand, before TikTok was even a thing. Well, on my radar, let's put it that way. Here's my thing that I want to know on people who only have social media. Carrie and I have had numerous discussions about this. So, most of these people used to have their own websites, blogs, maybe email newsletters, all that stuff. There are so many influencers now who are only on social platforms and do not own any of their content. They do not actually own where it is, where it's broadcast, where it lives, anything like that. I consider that highly risky. I don't know about y'all, but to me, because like TikTok is on the edge of getting banned. I mean, I would be surprised if TikTok lasts in the United States through the end of 2023, because there are so many people, both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat, who are like, no, this is a major national security risk. It's because the Chinese government is super involved in the parent company ByteDance. And even though TikTok has assured the U.S. government that information from the United States is not being sent to ByteDance, they have since found out that is indeed untrue. And so, like, no government devices are allowed to have it on. No military devices are allowed to have TikTok. Even like the state of Texas. If you work for the University of Texas, if you work for the state of Texas, if you work for any public, like statewide agency, and your phone is your government issued phone, you're not allowed to have TikTok on it. So I will be surprised. And then what happens to those kids that are on TikTok, or not even just the kids? There was an article in the Wall Street Journal this morning about an 89-year-old grandmother who's super famous has like 3 million followers on TikTok, but she doesn't even own a cell phone. Her grandson is the one who manages it for her. So, Aaron, you're TikTok famous, aren't you? How many followers do you have on TikTok? I'll vamp for a moment. I know there's like a 20-second delay between the time I say the words and y'all hear them. But, and even Courtney Kerr, who I adore, she used to have a website currently, KERRENTLY.com, a play on her name. And she didn't even have that website anymore, right? Carrie, confirm this for me. Courtney Kerr is now exclusively on social platforms. And I consider her to be like one of the smartest influencers out there. She's like one of the OGs. She knows all of it. So maybe they know something I don't. Maybe they just bounce to the next one. But it seems very, very dangerous to me. Aaron has 55,000 followers on TikTok, and he makes about $500 a month off of it. Well, good for you, bitch. That's a decent Coach bag every month that you could buy. Good for you. So I don't make very much money on these things. Sometimes I make money on the links, depending on how I grab them. Sometimes I make money on, like, there was a time when Amazon was paying me like $1,000 a month to make these live videos. Not Amazon, sorry. Facebook was paying me like $1,000 a month. It was a 3-month window where if I recorded a certain number of hours and I made 500, 1,000, or 1,500, I made 1,000 each time. So, Carrie's saying that Courtney Kerr has a website. I have looked for currently.com. It must not be that one. It crashed and it's basically an archive. She didn't have an assistant, so she does it all by herself. Yeah. So, Eric is saying that makes sense about blocking TikTok. I'd read recently about the state of Texas blocking on their employees' work phones, but couldn't figure out why. Yeah, it's because big China. Why are you saying? Oh, Carrie's correcting your spelling of it. Rude. So, anyway, well, also there is a hidden message in my wardrobe choice for the day. My two favorite football teams are SMU and anyone who's playing against TCU. So go Georgia. And we will find out very soon who won. And the reason why SMU people are, well, first of all, it's a rule that if you go to SMU, you have to hate TCU. Just like if you live in Dallas, you have to hate Houston and vice versa. The other thing is they stole our coach with more money. So, but anyway, so go Georgia. We'll find out later today. I know a lot of people at SoFi Stadium and from Fort Worth, so I still love you. All right. Oh, and Carrie's confirming she's taking her site down, so it is true. All righty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you for allowing me to process externally. And I will see you tomorrow. So I will not be here on Thursday for sure because Mason's testing and PowerPoint presentation for his business magnet is at 5:00. And so I have to take him there and be there and all that kind of stuff. So I will not be here on Thursday for sure. I should be here tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30. Oh, and Aaron is saying in Fort Worth that it is a national holiday there. Yes. Oh, and Carrie can be on Wednesday. That'll be fun. Yes, 100%. Plan on that, everybody. Alrighty. Well, I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say, talk to you later. Bye.